Hello, everyone, and as always, welcome back to Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we find, learn, and play one more turn of the great strategy games. Today, back into Gary Grigsby's War in the East 2. This is our Let's Play against the Soviet AI, and it is episode number 241. We've named it Hold, because that's what we have to do. We're trying to get out of the Smolensk area, come back, form a line, but everywhere else, it's just about holding on to the mud so we can make it to the next check, and then if we make it there, to make it to the next check. We're going we're going checkpoint to checkpoint at this time. Welcome. It's Saturday. That's always a good thing because, well, we can watch the turn. We can talk about what happened, and it's the weekend. What's bad about that? Hello, Sarge the Rage. You're always first on the trigger. Hello to you. Hi, Paul. Um, well, yeah. Paul, you're not the only one that has problems. When I put it up on the calendar, I have problems as well, and that's why you have problems. That's because the scheduling feature on Streamlabs does not want to seem to work with Twitch, and so I have to, when I put something on the schedule, I do it just kind of for informational purposes, and then I have to take it down and actually re-up the episode so that it streams to both YouTube and Twitch. So it's not you, Paul, it's me. Hello, Paul, by the way. Big Head Valley's here, Battling Geezer. Nordhammer is here. Peter Kloss, David Bartello, Anthony. Hi, Anthony. How are you? I hope everyone's fit. Dada Goose. Hi, Dada Goose. Hello to you. I'm glad you're all here. You as well, David Marchant. And good evening. Well, I see the sunshine out of my peripheral vision, so I can't say good evening yet. Uh, I'm frozen. I hope not. Well, it's the Soviet winter. Well, if we have a stream problem, let me know. As usual, I can always take it down and put it back up. Sometimes it happens. Okay, we're going to run around the map really fast, make sure everything is as we wish it to be, given the circumstances we're in. I want to check out the rail units too, because I want to make sure that we've got super depots going where we want them. And just make sure everything's kind of lined up the way we want it to. So let's just go, well, tell you what, let's go bottom to the top because we didn't spend as much time down here in the bottom as maybe we do sometimes. We know this is, how it's got to be, I guess, in some respects. We're going to get some more of this out, but he can't move anymore. That's it. Down here at this port, we've got a few units. The Italian army, I was looking at this. I think we've got to keep one Italian army here. I sent the other one across the way, and somebody had said, well, why are they sitting here? Why is it all stacked up here? Well, I was going this port to this port because, first of all, this can't export anything. Not really. It's not on the rail line. So it just gives us a port to come into, and if we use its port capacity, it's not a huge deal. Not quite the same here. I mean, this does have, we would be able to get some freight in here, but really Sevastopol is the way to go. And if you go on the ships, it'll show you kind of your port capacity here. 75. This is down to 7 because we've shipped a lot off, but I thought, cost benefit analysis. I said it was the weekend. It's not during the week. I don't want you guys eyes to glaze over on cost benefit analysis. But sending these guys out so that we have fewer mouths to feed, I think gives us a greater benefit than tying up the port capacity at least for a turn or so. So I went ahead and did that. A lot of these units are in bad shape. As I keep getting stuff out of here, hopefully they'll get a little more freight. And I kept this. Sevastopol was not used at all this time, and everything's coming out of Constanta. Now, we took the rail unit to make a super depot at Constanta. We also upped the depot level. I should just go ahead and turn those on. Well, you can't see it on there, but it's a 3. Sevastopol is a 4. Okay, we also knocked up Bucharest to a 2, so we go 2, 3, 4, hopefully. I've got these Romanians out here. Why was I not able to send those? I'm still not exactly sure why I can't get those guys back to the reserve. Well, he's unready. I don't know. And honestly, I'm not sure I really care. So we're just going to move on. Uh, Anything else back here? I just want to make sure there's nothing else that's activated. When these Hungarians activate, you would think you would know it, but I don't think so. Any of these guys out here, that's their headquarters. All the Italians are under this headquarters, Alpini. We've got the 52nd Regiment. Now I've got him on a supply priority 4. I've got the Italians on a 4. I've got the Romanians on a 4. I'm just going to make sure that's true. I'm going to knock that down to a 2, pop it back up to a 4. This Romanian group, Mountain Romanian group, yep, that's on a 4 as well. All right, so I'm drawing as much freight here as I can. I've got this guy over here on a supply priority 4. Will he get anything? I don't know. Why is this guy on refit? Let's take him off refit. Oh, he's on unready. Okay, these two guys are ready. I mean, the Soviets have not shown any inclination to step out on this land bridge. Let's hope they don't, because we don't have, we just don't have a defense down here really if they made any kind of sustained push. As we go around here, we have got Ninth Panzer actually doesn't look that bad. I could put him back in the reserves, but he's got 76 tanks. Um, let's think about that one further. We've got third. This is a secondary rail. It's coming out of the headquarters, and so it's sending it down to fix this rail. Well, that's good because I wanted to fix this rail anyway. So it's going to come back to the headquarters and get into this depot. I had built this depot, but we didn't really have anything to rebuild it with. So hey, that's good. Okay, and that's coming out of either Antonescu or 6th Remaining Corps, probably Antonescu. 6th Romanian Corps, yeah, that's out of Antonescu. He's got this headquarters up here. Cavalry, oh, right, cavalry headquarters. And then 6th is not commanding anything. Well, let's put him over here on the rail line because I'll probably get rid of him back to the reserves if we can. So I'm going to put him on the rail line. So Antonescu is sitting here. I guess I should actually just have him sit right here on this depot for when we get it rebuilt. What else is here? 6th Army is here. Well, that's not, you can't have much more of a capacity than that. Um, Here are these commands. Now, one thing I was going to do here is actually put Flieger Corps because this guy's now at 10 of 9. And then 44th under Martinek, he's only got 2 divisions. So let's put that in there. 44th Corps. Okay, now we've got that lined up a little better. We're not over command here with 34th Corps. So we've got 34th and 44th here. This is under Grossner. Okay, fine. Moving down here then, we've got, is he 10 of 9 as well? He is. I don't really want to, mismatch commands because you get a better or a worse penalty than you probably do if he's just one over his command limit. So I'll probably just leave that as is. Wow, 16 of 9. We need another core headquarters here. But whom? But whom? Hmm. He's got the Hungarian. He's got this. Wow, that's just way over. 16 of 9. I don't know how I got it that far over. Going back to 4th Panzer doesn't make a whole lot of sense. He's got 10 of 9, so he's a little over as well. We need another corps headquarters for 4th Panzer. He's got 8 of 9, 6 of 9, 6 of 9. So I could have 2, 10, and 9. And then what's this headquarters have up here? 3rd Panzer's got 7 of 9. Oh boy. All right. Well, so he's got this guy, this guy, this guy. Third Panzer. Your third Panzer, your third Panzer, your third Panzer. I'm going to put you in third Panzer, I believe. He's 8 of 9. Yeah, let's put this in third Panzer as well. He'll have one. Oh gosh, I hate when I start mismatching these like this though. But I guess for now I'm going to have to. Third Panzer Corps, you'll go in there. All right, so he's got 9 now. Now then, third Panzer. Okay, so now these guys are in 24th Panzer. I'll put him in 24th Panzer. Now he's got 7 of 9. Is there somebody else that can go in here? Yeah, he could go in here. So that is 24th. Okay, 24th Panzer. Okay, now he's 9 of 9. All right, moving down here. So he's only got 4 of 9. And he's got 6 of 9. So we could put them together and come up with 10. Um, this is 46th. This is von Vettengoff, who's pretty damn good, but then we've also got Naring, who's pretty damn good. Okay, who's got movement points? Okay, I'm going to keep Van Vettengoff here. So he'll be 46th Panzer. So that's in 46th. You're now in 46th. Thought I had most of these worked out, but evidently not. You'll be in 46th Panzer. Okay, now he's got 10 of 9. He's got 0, and I can bring him around here and give him command of these guys right up here. So I'll just put him, I don't know, back here on the road a little bit, and I'll put him under the overall command of 4th Panzer Corps or 4th Panzer Army. Now, see, it's already at 26 of 27, though. What's 1st Panzer at? Trying to avoid any. Well, he's at 28 of 27. Um, these guys. Well, that's not going to add to that much. All right, let's put him in 4th Panzer for now. You go into 4th Panzer, and then you're going to get. So that's 14th. These guys up here. So 14th. Okay. And then 14th. 14th. All right. Who else is up here that he's got? So now he's down to 12 of 9. Okay, I can give you him and him. All right. So now 14th Panzer Corps and oh, well, that's fine. Um and 14th. All right. So now he's 9 of 9. And now he is 7 of 9. Okay, I guess I could have kept that the same, but whatever. These guys have that. He's got these guys, so let's just scoot him over one. That's in good command. Now this is all going back to him. He's 9 of 9. Okay, so we worked that out. Um, he's 8 of 9 in 51st Corps. This headquarters, I'm actually going to scoot this headquarters back a little bit. Just put him back behind the Romanian border. That's all fine. When I say fine, again, I'm relatively speaking. We can't move any more of that. We've moved all of these guys. We have them where, you know, I want them, I guess, for lack of a better term. Okay, here's one of our rail. I'm going to move him up here eventually and try to jack up this depot to feed all of these guys, or I could put him down here, I guess. Lavav, Tarnopol. All right, I think we're about ready to go then. Um, this headquarters I'm bringing out here, I may end up disbanding these. I don't think that's a terrible idea to send the men back into the reserves, but I'm not going to do it immediately. Um, what are you guys talking about up here? I don't know. I was just looking at the comments. Yeah, I saw Lucas's post. I think some of it's good. I don't agree with all of it, but I'm going to do some of it. That's why I was mentioning the Luftwaffe, groups, is because, yeah, I mean, I can see why you would disband those, but we don't have enough units on the board to be disbanding things right now. Not saying they're going to do a whole lot, but I mean, we've got a whole section here with nothing in it. I'm trying to get them down here just to get in the way a little bit, but I may eventually disband them. I mean, I don't think that's a bad idea. Certainly, you could make the argument we could right now. Um, all right, I think unless you guys think that there's something I've forgotten, I'm gonna look and see if we should run any freight anywhere. Um, Yes, he did say, get things out of the Narva line. As far as support units go, we've got plenty of support units. I mean, I've got a full complement of support units everywhere. I don't think there's a corps I have that doesn't have 3 artillery, 3 flak, including at least 1 mixed flak for anti-tank purposes. Most of them have Panzerjägers. The only things I haven't put on the map, I mean, and we can go look. I mean, there are certainly things I could put out here right now. So let's just go to this headquarters, for instance, and we'll go to the support units. I mean, I've got plenty of support units, so why pull them out of the Narva line and then get attacked there and say, gee, I wish I still had my support units there. It's not like we have a lack of support units that I could put out here. The Sturm Infantry Battalion, I could put that out there right now, but if you look at what we've got, that might be a good one to put in here at Odessa. Okay, so that's not a bad idea, but we could put another artillery here, but we've got a Stug, a Panzerjäger, 2 construction. We don't have a Werfer in here, but we've got mixed flak. We got a regular, two mixed flak, regular flak. I mean, between this Panzerjäger and the 2 mixed flak, if that's not enough anti-tank, I don't know what is. None of the, some of this will never get used because he can only commit 6, right? And usually the game only commits 3 or 4 support units. So, getting support units out of the Narva line makes 0 sense to me. I don't know why I'd do it. Every one of these cores has a full complement of support units. But I will put that Sturm division in here. Maybe I'll do that just to give them a little extra uh, infantry presence in Odessa. Sure, why not? We can't get any more support units over there. Most of our generals, you say we have a good general wasting away over here. I mean, is that really true? I don't know. I mean, is Hollet so good that we can't have him in the Crimea? I mean, we don't have anything else out here. He's sevens all down the board. Well, I mean, you can throw a dart at German generals and find sevens. I mean, this is a 7.65.7. The two most important being morale and infantry are both sevens. I think that's okay. Is pulling Hawlett all the way back over here to take this command really make sense? Probably not. But I know it's easy to just say things in the comments and be like, Obviously, but really it doesn't make any sense. I mean, Hollett's not such a good general that you gotta have him someplace. You know what I mean? Um, there's a lot of German generals that have sevens up and down the board. I mean, Hasse is arguably a better general because he's got an 8 for morale, which is the most important, and then he's got a 7 in infantry. So Hasse, I would argue, is a better general than Hollett. I don't know. I mean, I'm just picking out random ones. Here's all sevens. Schultz. I mean, why would I replace him with Hollett? Well, I mean, they're exactly the same. They're all sevens. So yeah, I mean, I read all of those. I don't always agree with everything that's said there, but I think that there are good ideas to be had. You know, I mean, for instance, I'm certainly thinking about disbanding these units, but I don't know why I would do it right now until we get those other infantry divisions back on the map. So that's just my thinking. That doesn't make it right, but I'm just telling you why I'm not doing it anyway. Let's fly some freight out here if we can. Eh, let's fly freight to Sevastopol before we do anything. Let's do a single mission. 124 tons. We'll take that. Now it's generally used. I was told this, it's generally used within the area here. So when you fly freight in, you really want to fly it right on top. Putting it in Sevastopol, it's going to be used on this unit. Now, some of it may float out of here to the extent this unit doesn't need it, but it's better to put it right up here or to drop it right on their heads. I was actually thinking about dropping some there, and let's just do that. Launch single mission. All right, 151 tons. So hopefully that German division gets in better shape. I'm also going to fly some here. 57 tons. We're not losing any planes, so we don't. I'm just going to drop right on top of them, and I'll tell you that's not nearly as efficient. But some of these guys just need food, and I'm just going to drop it on their heads and see if they get some. So see, he only gets 10 tons. We thought maybe we would get 30, but I'm just going to keep flying out here if we can. First, let's do this again. It does cost an AP to fly level bombers out here. 6 tons delivered. It's better than nothing. Okay, that's good. And then let's try to take a little bit to Odessa since we're not hooked into the rail line. Let's see if we get it. Yeah, we lost 4 transports there. You can see the Soviets did fly some interception there with 5 fighters. Moving around, is there any other place down here we need to fly it? Not really. We're hooked into Minsk. Look at that, starting to use those rail lines here certainly. Um, let's try to fly some here if we can, because this is not hooked into the rail line, but it's the closest depot we have here. Now this is going to again cost AP, but we've got AP for what else are we going to use it on? I don't necessarily want to come out of Minsk though. Why don't we come out of Zhagopils, Pskov, Memel, Sonda? Königsberg's probably way too far back. Yeah. Well, we could still do the bombers out of there. Okay, let's come out of Königsberg. How much freight do they have? 3,500. Okay, let's launch that for a single mission. We lose 1 bomber, but we get 112 tons of freight out here. You know, it's not a lot, but it's not nothing. Jagopils, Tartu, Koval. Huh, Koval's got a lot of freight. Um, no. Lepaja has quite a bit. Oh, sure. Let's just fly some out of there and we'll spend. All right. Run 4 out of there. Launches single mission. We lose 1 more bomber. But we get a little freight in here. 163 tons. All right, I'm going to call that done, unless somebody's yelling at me in the comments to move something else. Um, Anthony, I just said I've got plenty of support units in all these units or in all these cores. I mean, every single one. I mean, I can give them extra, but they can only use so many, and they only use so many in each battle. Uh, I've just found over the years, anyway, when it comes to support units, if you have three flak, including some mixed flak, three artillery, if you can get a Stug or a Panzerjäger in there, that's great. If you've got Werfer group in there, that's great too. But I mean, beyond that, it's just complete and total overkill. And we've got so many divisions that are back in the reserves that'll come out and need a core headquarters that, you know, I don't know. Let's just pick a random core again. 20th Corps. He's got three artillery, four flak, including two mixed flak, Pioneer Battalions, Construction Battalion. I mean, this is my guy, Theobald Lieb. Could I give him a Stug battalion? Yeah, I guess. I mean, okay, here, we gave them a Stug battalion. Is that going to make a difference if they get overrun out here? Not really. We could give them a Panzerjäger, but every single one of these cores I've checked, and they have that breakdown of 3, 3, and then one a Panzerjäger or Stug, and a Werfer. If we've got them, we're kind of low on Werfers. I don't know. Let's look at 57 Panzer Corps. 4 artillery, 2 flak. Could I give him another mixed flak? Sure, if that's going to make everybody feel better. It's going to, it just, they only commit 2 or 3 support units generally in a battle. So, doing this isn't going to make that big of a difference. Um, it would only make a difference if they have nothing. But they usually don't pick all that they have anyway, and I've got them overstocked. So I don't know. Let's go up here. 28th Corps. 3 artillery, 3 mixed flaks, a heavy Stug, Pioneer, 2 construction. I mean, what do you suggest that I put in here that's going to make a big difference? I mean, I could put a Werfer battalion in here, but it's 14 on the readiness, so I don't think that's really going to do a whole lot of good. I could put some anti-tank Panzerjägers in there, but we have plenty of anti-tank with the mixed flak. So I've looked over all of these. I mean, maybe you just don't agree, but that's fine. But let's not make it seem like I don't have support units in the cores, because we certainly do in every core out here. We've even got them in ones I'm sending back to the reserves. We got a lot. Could I kick all of these back up to OKH? I could, but I'm going to bring them back on the map. So I'm just going to let that rest for a bit. Okay. What else could we move? I think that's about it. We could sit here and talk support units all day, but I'm completely comfortable with the support unit situation. That's not our problem. Our problem, again, has been twofold. One, trying to take Moscow within 15 turns. That got us in a bad situation. And then later on, trying to keep the initiative by pushing to Veliki Luki and out to Stalino. Other than that, I mean, there are huge operational problems, but the small stuff is not the problem. It's not depots, it's not support units, it's not these things that people write a thesis about of what's going on in this game. The problem were the big operational decisions, which I tried to do, and they ended up being incorrect. But the problem with that we have now are not small ball problems. It's trying to recover from those big decisions. Okay, let's go. Turn it. Yes, we're going to end without depot management. Yeah, I moved the planes. Off we go. Yes, I do have a few of those divisions still directly back to OKH. I got too busy talking. It's fine. If a mech unit can't make it for one turn on that, then Our goose is cooked anyway. I would have obviously I would have rather put them in. That was the one thing I was supposed to remember, Nord. But it'll be all right. We'll put them in a core this next time around. All right, Soviet logistics phase. Yeah, I don't think depots are minor either, John. That's why we've tried to fix them every turn. Hey, what's up, Stanley? How are you? All right, they took the Orsha depot. Now let's see if the AI is aggressive this turn. It's been very passive the last couple of turns. We saw this in 41, 42 as well. I guess early 42. Once it got into January or February and the AI was stretched a little bit and it was the snow, it got very passive. We'll see if that's the case this time. I hope so. All right, he is running some air missions. We're not seeing where they are. At least I haven't seen a lightning bolt across the screen. The Soviets have taken 24 losses, 25 losses. And here we go. Well, it didn't assault any enemy weak points. I guess we've got none. Sure. Here are the front attacks. Let's see what the AI's got. All right, he hits the Hungarians first. This was the group I moved up here to the south of Minsk just to get in the way, and at least they did that. They didn't even rout, they just retreated. Now he's hitting into the town of Pskov. He runs into a 1 to 4.7. We do get support units involved, mixed artillery, heavy cannon. It's the three Finnish divisions sitting in Pskov. He came with about 80,000 men, 890 guns, 220 AFVs against 40,000 Finns who only lose 18 men. They're just camped up in there. They're in a fort level 3, 2761 on the adjusted to 584. Excellent. All right. So they're holding on. As long as we can keep from getting surrounded here, the Finns are looking tough. 1 to 3.6 out here, 224 to 332. So, not as good on the manpower loss as you would suspect. Given a 1 to 3.6, we had 302nd Infantry and 86th Infantry. The heavy howitzer, just one support unit gets involved, even though we had full support units out here. Crap, no, it's Crop A, it gets hit out here just to the south, the Pskov, well, kind of southwest a little bit. Fort level 2, so we built this up. That helps certainly as we go to from a 438 to a 551. Soviets bring in 151, but we hold on there, and they hit Pskov again, 1 to 5.4 again. Looks good. 2803 in a fort level 3. We lose 55 men. So all told, I think the Finns lost 73 men on 2 full assaults on the city. The Soviets only lose 288 and 2, though. A little surprised it's not worse. I mean, they're trying to assault an urban area. You think they maybe would take a little bit more in losses, but again, that's a stronghold. All right, we get knocked back here. This is under Valor. Very good general, obviously. Now, this 214 to 53 makes me think maybe we missed a dice roll or something. But they did take our fort level from a 1 to 0 first. So that would reduce the 214. Once they take down the fort level, that would reduce our adjusted. We lose 976 and 36. The Soviets lose 13, 35, 25, and 61. 3.821. Now, we only took a step back with these two divisions, but he's bringing over 100,000 men, 1,300 guns, and 332 AFVs. Yeah, that's a lot. You can see he's getting a lot of support units involved. For those support unit hounds, we had them available. Valor threw two into the mix. All right. Now, this infantry right next to it, I'm glad that they push back next to each other. It does get pushed back. And now then, we get hit. These same guys get hit again, but this time they hold. They're sitting right on top of their headquarters, Valor, 129th and 87th. We lose 177. The Soviets 133. It's 1 to 1.6. 208 to 128. So after he attacked the first time, he lost a little bit of steam, and we hold on there. And I do think we missed a dice roll that first time because now you see the adjusted up to 208. He's moving past us here where this depot is with this mech unit. Now, this is the mech unit that we moved up or down here. It was actually up here. We moved it here. And he's trying to get past. We may go mech on mech, and that's it. That's the only Soviet attack this time. Hey, John Chappell, thank you, my friend. And CJ, thank you as well. I saw you put that into the monocle fund. I got to get the monocle back out for episode 250. Yeah, we're a little bit closer to Riga than I would like to be. Get some home cooking in Riga. Uh, oh yeah, it's playoff Saturday, Stanley. Stanley, I'm going to put up a War in the Pacific video. You got to watch that instead. Pretty hard to believe that that's all that the Soviets wanted to do this time, but yeah, Sarge, it could have been much worse. On a scale of Apocalypse 10 and Marching into Moscow 1, it was probably about a 4. Yeah, well, you can warn about Riga. Yeah, I had no idea, Nord, that we were close to Riga. It just dawned on me. Thanks for warning about it. Yes, I know where Riga is, and I know we're getting close to it. If you have some ideas where we can get some spare units to throw up by Riga, let me know. I just brought pretty much a full Panzer Corps plus 2 mech units down there to protect against it, so I don't think I'm unaware of it. Um, wow. I'm kind of sitting here in shock that those were the only attacks that came. Now, I know we're in the middle of a snowstorm. Every bit of this out here has got like 8 or 9 snow cover, uh, every hex, and the AI is obviously running the numbers and saying it doesn't make sense. We've also buffeted up the line a little bit. I think a human player would be going for broke here as the Soviets. I know I will against XTRG in the snow, but obviously when it's running through the algorithm, they're not seeing an advantage. You can question the AI if you want. I I don't know. I find it very surprising there were only 3 attacks on the map, but we'll take it. And it is now January 24th, 1943. Breaking news! Soviet partisans are on the map. Well, we knew that. We've already read these. I don't know why they showed back up red. But partisans was really the only thing we got this time. Uh, we're going to get some new units or a new unit on the map. It's an Italian division, the celery division. It's making me no. I'm sure celery. Sure. That's going to come on the map. So we got new Italians out. Construction. We got a new Corps headquarters that came into the reserves. Croat infantry goes down to the Balkans. Okay. 256th Infantry Division into the reserves. Excellent. I hope, is that a fully built division? No, this is one I pulled out. Okay. Just I was like, I got excited there for a second. Um, what's the Kampf? The Kampf? Huh. Interesting. Okay, I'll have to go look at that. We get that as a reinforcement. It's a 4-star headquarters. Okay, cool. That'll be coming on the map next time. Stug batteries. We get 300. Oh, nice. 333rd. It's hard for me to say that, evidently. Comes on the map next time. We get 2 full divisions, the 333rd and the 335th, from Western Europe. Way to go, AI. It's sending us some more troops over onto the map. Those 2 full divisions that will certainly help. Probably put one by Minsk. Well, I don't know. I don't know. But that'll be next time. Army Group B is going away next time. So Army Group B will be gone. We've got Army Group Dawn and Army Group A. I don't know. Does Army Group A get renamed or does it just say Army Group A? Panzer Corps comes on next time. The SS Panzer headquarters comes on in what, 2 turns, 3 turns? Well, this is the current turn. So in 2 turns, okay, well, we'll check all that out when it comes on. And if we come back here, you see here's the Italian unit. I'm going to take this off for a second. 7,300 men. Okay, 75 of 80. I brought it back on because it was over 70%. Let's go into our reserves and see if any of this stuff built up. We had the 7th Infantry Division on refit, and it did. Look at that. 98% of TOE, and we had the 7th and the 26th rebuilding on refit, and they both filled up. Well, that's exciting. Great. I'm just going to go ahead and tell it to put it on the map for next turn. So that's 7th and then 26th. So we'll have 4 full divisions that come onto the map next time. 2 from reinforcement, 2 out of the reserves. And let's take our next best infantry divisions back here and put them on refit. So we'll take the 35th. We'll put that on refit. Just make sure it did it. Yep, refit on. And then the 50th refit on. All right, so we'll get, hopefully we can rebuild 2 of these divisions every turn. That would be awesome. We need it. Did any of these guys, they need to come on the map? Not really. Mountain Division, not really. Guns, no. We looked at that. 3rd Panzer Division got up to an 87 on the TOE. Let's go take a peek at that. Let's see what its elements are at this point. Wow, look at this. We're going to have 90 Panzer IVs, 20 Panzer IV Gs. That's kind of the same element. They must have a little bit of a difference. 15 Panzer III Ns and 6 Panzer IIs. But all told, 110 Panzer IVs will be in the 3rd Panzer Division when that comes back on. You can see 87 of 88. So we're going to put that back on the map. Map. And that's the one we had on refit as well. So that's working really well, is to put these, a couple of these on refit, so it prioritizes those and you can cycle them back on the map, and then the other ones just wait their turn in line. So I'm going to put 13th Panzer now on refit, and because it's at 24 Romanian armor, I've got that on refit on. I'll give that another turn. We've got these cores back here. I don't want them really siphoning men off of fighting men. I don't know how that works in the game. If men are considered staff for the cores, I don't think that comes from a different pool though. Okay, well, that all works out fine. I was really happy with that. Excellent. Let's go to the info screens. We'll go to the order of battle first, and you can see the Germans have 2.4 million men on the map, nearly 25,000 guns, 3,000 AFVs. That compares to the Soviets having 5.7 million men on the map. So when you add these together, we're about 2.2 million behind. Soviets now have 9,700 AFVs on the map, 66,000 guns compared to our about 30,000. But we'll look at that when we go over the graphs. Reserve forces, the Germans are now up to 135 in the reserve. 135,000, 1,400 guns, 170 AFVs, 1,500 aircraft. We've got a lot of aircraft back in the reserves. So if you look at the total, um, you know, this is not all on map, right? This includes theater boxes. Uh, if you took everything out of our damn theater boxes and just threw it into the Eastern Front, we'd be at about parity. Okay. But I like, we've got a lot back sitting in the reserves. We're getting some reinforcements. We're going to try to rebuild those units one by one. You can see nothing came on the map here. We only got the Italian group this time, but we'll get 4 divisions onto the map next time. Okay. Overall losses 3.156. Nearly 50,000 guns now, 8,500 AFVs. The Soviets, 9.675, almost 150,000 guns, and nearly 42,000 AFVs. So this is running about 4.8, 4.7 to 1 on the AFVs, 3 to 1 on the guns, and 3 to 1 on the men. Not good enough. You need to be 4 or 5 to 1 on the men, and that's why we face such a deficit at this point. Let's go to the graphs, and we'll look at manpower losses. They've really trended down here as the winter has gone on here. There's not a whole lot of fighting. There was not a whole lot of fighting last turn. In some ways, you could look at it both ways. In some ways, it works to our benefit because we're on the defensive. But every turn that goes by, the Soviet war machine cranks out more men, more AFVs, more guns. You need to be capturing men. Of course, right now is not the time to be doing that. Gun losses, AFV losses, total aircraft losses. Let's look at Mapmen. 5.766, 3.2. 2.5 million men deficit. So he's steaming towards doubling us up. Map guns. This has gone hyperbolic. Whoa, that was almost the dreaded all sixes there. 66655, 31.5 for us. AFVs, he's now almost ready to cross over 10,000. We're at 3,200. Map aircraft, we've got a lot of aircraft in reserves, like 1,500. He's probably got a 5-2 advantage on us there, 2.5 times, right? The number of planes we do, something like that. No, not quite that much. Maybe like 1.7 or 1.8 to 1. So that's that. Let's look at the weather. And what have we got this time? Well, this is the weather on the ground, and as you can see, it's snow. This is heavy snow. Are we seeing any rain? This is light snow. Yeah. Well, when I say rain, that would be in the air. But any mud or light mud, not really. I mean, down in these corners, but we're not close enough. It hasn't thawed, let's put it that way. Weather in the air, still have snowfall out here. It's hard to tell with that color. Which one's cold? It's kind of a greenish, light greenish. I think that's cold. And then this is snowfall. You can see the blizzards right up here. By the end of the turn, same old deal. Same old deal. Big low pressure front hanging over Central Europe. Okay. What else do we like to look at? Well, let's look at the turn summary. Last time we lost 5,115 men, 163 guns, 22 AFVs, and 34 aircraft. On the map, we lose 213 men because we did replace some of this with the Italians. 34, we gain 34 guns and 54 AFVs. We lose one plane on the map. The Soviets yet again gain almost 32,000 men, nearly 2,000 guns and 46 AFVs. Okay, I will say our logistics actually look a little better this turn. We got 21,800 tons received out of the 38,000. This has been running at about 15,000 to 17,000. Now there could be a couple of different reasons for that. We're not as bad a situations as we were like when we were stretched out to Valeki Luki or Stelino, but also we're building those depots. And I know that it came up in the comments. Oh, well, I think depots are important. Well, I think depots are important too. But it being the first time playing the game, trying to figure out the best way or best place to put depots. And I agree, talking about emails I've received, whoever put together the email saying talking about depots, I thought was actually really good. And I think that person was correct that you have got to get as many level 4 depots right up on top of your troops as you can. Um, because if your troops are within 3 hexes of that depot, for one thing, it'll be horses, not trucks, that take out the supply. But for another, it's just, it's easier on your trucks, even if it's trucks being sent out. But it's just closer in general. They're going to get less lost, more makes it to your troops. And so, having the threes, but then building the fours right out on top of your troops, I really think is the way to do it. So that could have, part of this is certainly that we're in a better position for logistics now, just because we're not as extended in certain places. We're closer to big towns, things like that. But also, I think that our depot situation is certainly better. By turn 94, the Soviets have to be at 525. Right now, they're at 513, but we're hanging on strong. To the comments I go. What's going on down here? CJ is correct. We're gonna try. We're gonna try to get the swamp rats again. I take over those Pripyat marshes. We'll try. We'll do that a second time. Um, hey, what's up, Barbara? How are you? I have not put some of those heavy Panzer battalions out on the map yet, just because it's the winter. Um, but that'll be coming. I'm probably just going to wait till the spring, but I haven't put them out there. If we got in super big trouble somewhere, I'm not saying we're in great shape, but I mean, if we got in super big trouble somewhere, I would put the big Panzer battalions out there. Um, and I'm waiting. I haven't put them out there yet. We'll see. I don't think it's best to put them out during the winter. I don't want to take a bunch of just attrition losses off of them. So I haven't put them out there yet. But we can look at that as we go around this turn. So we've looked at this. I don't think there's much we're going to do with the air this time. I mean, I can't imagine why we would. Whoops. Let's put map info, air head. Oh, I guess I had the air headquarters out there. Why didn't I? Oh, they're all down here now. We've got fighters here. The fighters have been doing a pretty good job of keeping his bombers off of us. Fighters in Minsk. Fighters here. What is this place? What is this place, I say? Uh, Globico. Sure. So we've got some fighters here, some fighters there. We've got some dive bombers here. I think these are dive bombers as well. I've got heavy bombers or medium bombers, I should say, back here. Transport group right on top of Vilnius. I like all of that. JG-52 is at Lutsk. Okay. Stukas here at where was this? Brody. I've got level bombers back at Lvov. Fighters, transport group. Yeah, I mean, I just don't have a lot of air units on the map right now. It's been snowing. I'm not really using them for anything other than to keep his air units off me. But you can see all the level bombers, and we'll put them back out on the map in the spring. For one thing, I'm trying to pull them back here so they don't use up a lot of freight. Um, so you can see all of the level bombers we have. We've got a lot of attack bombers back here, fighter bombers, most of those as fighters. We've got a few fighters, not that many back here. I've got all the recon aircraft back here, but that's really, I mean, the main reason is so they don't eat freight. Let's go look around the map before we take off for this time. Uh, Narva line, okay, Pskov. Now, he's not looking particularly strong. You know, I've really massed some forces here by bringing up the mech, the infantry units. I do have some of the newer infantry units in this group. Now, neither of these two, but I'll probably try to blow him out here and kind of scoot back out here. But we've got to move a few things around here because he's really massed here. Don't worry, I will get the mechs into their own core. I should have done it this time. I just forgot if that offended anyone. Um, he's got a mech unit that's moved through here. Now, it technically cut this rail line, but this rail line, was this the one we were using? Not really. The one we're using is this one, and we got to stop it right there. So I mean, we're going to have to do whatever we have to do to try to, you know, stunt this. We will be getting those 4 new divisions next time. At least one of them will be coming up here. But I've got these mechs that are kind of in the way. But you look at that tank group here coming to meet those mechs. But I have my own panzer groups coming along here. So, you know, he's pushing, he's making a bulge, and we've seen this over and over with the AI. Once the AI gets focused on a certain area, and it's worked. I mean, I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying once the AI gets you know, focused on a certain area, it will push this bulge as far as it can. And so we've got to get a rein on this. And I am aware Riga is right there. I was aware of that all the way back here. But you know, you've got the force. What did Donald Rumsfeld said? You fight with the army you have, not with the one you want. All of this doesn't look that strong. And what I'm hoping, again, I'm hoping, is now that we've got this a little wider, we can really start moving these guys back, which allows us to start moving these parts of 18th Army around so that we get infantry over here and it's just not a random mech unit here or there trying to stop all of this. That if we can get back here and kind of make our line straight up from Minsk. And you can see another problem we're having here is this. You know, we need to take a core and put it down here and replace the Hungarians, but we're not at that point yet. But we'll try to do that this time. He didn't really move forward much out here. I mean, he did move a tank corps to here, and we'll just keep moving these Luftwaffe field divisions back to what I hope is safety. The Hungarians have now made first contact out here as the Soviets have moved forward. As we move down the line, we look fine along here, right? He doesn't have any overwhelming strength that I see, and these are all fairly decent, fairly built divisions for the most part. I mean, we have a few weaker ones, but for the most part. This is now becoming a problem, though, as he's really massed here at the Romanian border. You know, he's solid 2 deep all the way down here. Uh, you know, that's a hell of a line, and he's into Romania now. So, you know, we've got to plug every one of these gaps. Now, we do have some good units down here, but we have way too many panzer and motorized divisions that are trying to hold the line. So we're going to have to send some of that infantry that we get in each time to the south as well. How did it look over here in the Crimea? Well, did they get food? Yes, they got a little bit of food. Well, I flew it out here and dropped it on their head, so that's good. This 5th Romanian is unready. Okay, but at least the German unit is ready with a little bit of food and a few bullets. I'm not saying it's great, but it's better than it was. 11,000 men on the what I'm calling the linchpin of the defense, which goes to show you how crappy our defense is. Let's look at 8. Okay, it's all coming out of Sevastopol. Um, I don't know why they're not. Well, it's 4-4. I'm gonna have to turn this to a 3, I think, and try it that way. So 2, 3, 4, because it's not gonna ship it 4-4. Um, but I was hoping it would push some on the rail anyway. Well, lesson learned. This needs to be a 3, this needs to be a 4, and that needs to be a 2. I was hoping, well, I don't know what I was hoping. I was a little scared if I put this down to a 3 that we wouldn't get hardly any freight out here. How much did we receive? 4,656 tons. It's not much, but it's honest work. We stored. Well, we've got a little bit stored now. Don't store it. Send it. Send it. Uh, okay. Well, I think that's enough for today. Wow. Well, we didn't take a lot of damage in the actual combat resolution. The problem really is though he has just been sort of consolidating. You can see that here. I mean, look at all of the strength he has here. I'm not sure we have enough to stop this, and I mean, we have to stop it. If Odessa gets cut off, it's game over. So if he pushes through here, um, and we've just got this little island of Odessa over here, that's it. We're done for. So we may have to continue to expand some of this south. I don't know yet. I'm going to have to look at this more. But I had a good time today. I hope you guys did too. Let's do it again tomorrow. Tomorrow it should be at the regular time, 10 a.m. I was a little late today because the wife and I were watching. We signed up for a class all about having a newborn. Oh my gosh. It's happening. We're down to 15 weeks, 15-week countdown to the due date. So, oh, that'll be my biggest challenge yet. I won't be worried about support units that day. Uh, you guys be good. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.